Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's B. Avery here, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Just My Opinion. And today we're back talking Power, Book 2, Ghost, Episode 6, titled Good versus Evil. Now, to be honest with you, if I had to title this episode myself, it would probably be something around like Everybody is Stupid or Dumb Decision Dailies or something like that. I enjoyed the episode. I really did. I mean, I am entertained. I am not sitting here saying like, oh my gosh, if they don't get it together with these stupid decisions, I'm just going to clock out and not watch the show anymore. No, I'm glad Power's back. I did enjoy this episode, but I did think that a lot of people in this episode made some really dumb decisions where I was just really scratching my head. Maybe y'all felt the same, but of course we're going to talk about it. This episode recap is going to contain spoilers as if you've seen it. So if you haven't seen the episode and you don't want to be spoiled, I strongly suggest you go watch the episode, come back, and then you can get all this spoilery goodness because I'm going to spoil it up, down, left, right, in, and out. As if you've already seen it, you have been warned. So let's go ahead and get into this. First of all, it was just kind of funny to me, you know, when Davis McLean, played by Method Man, comes in Sack's office and he had on that get up because just like Sack said, like, dude, what are you wearing? He didn't say dude, but you get it. I was like, what are you wearing too? It just kind of looked funny. You know, I was like, bro, why do you have on jeans with draw straps or was it draw straps or string? You know, these little things right here or whatever. It may not have been jeans. It may have been sweats, but it did look kind of funny. But this is interesting how the season is coming back, starting off between these two because, you know, the last time, the mid-season finale, they were collaborating together to try to get Tasha off remove her charges, but take Tariq to jail because we found out, well, we already knew, but Sax found out when he was at the graveyard, you know, that Tariq was actually the killer of Ghost, his dad. And so I was really disappointed by that. And I was just saying, I was just disappointed in the fact that, you know, I like the Davis McLean character and I want him to be a good guy. And I don't want him to be like a slime ball trying to get over on Tariq, other black people, etc. So I hope that, you know, he's kind of setting up Sax and he's going to try to double cross him some type of way. I hope so because I don't like Sax. I don't think anybody likes Sax. I like McLean and I just want him to stay on the side of good. And so I think that he actually did that towards the end of the episode with the jury not with the jury selection, but with 2-Bit. But we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. But what's interesting is, you know, how they're trying to select this jury. It's just funny to me because like the judge is like, okay, guys, can we just get along? And of course they're going to get along because they're collaborating together, but they select a predominantly all black jury or whatever. And I think that's cool. You know, it was like one brown gentleman, you know, 2 white people and the rest were black. And I like the lines of dialogue from that one gentleman, Dr. Quinones, and how he was just talking about privilege and oppression. And, you know, I think one of the exact lines he said was, I abhor the violence that comes with like selling drugs on the streets, you know, but a lot of the children, the younger generations, they feel like they just have no other options, no other opportunities. He says it doesn't really make sense for somebody that's born into economic advantages to go down this route. But you know, with the working poor, they don't have any other way to go. And that is true. You know, he was really speaking truth to power right there. And I mean, it may not have been a big deal to you or that significant to you, but it was to me. It was something that kind of just, you know, piqued my interest. And I was like, you know what? I agree with everything you said. You hit the nail right there on the head. So the episode is starting off kind of, it's starting off good, but I really did like that right there. And then that's just where we get the jury. And that gentleman, he's not liking it. He's like, what the fuck is this jury? You know what I'm saying? We're going to get a mistrial. You know, and this is like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And, you know, Davis and McLean, he's talking to the woman that he smashed last episode, or the Get It In episode. I think that was like episode 4 of last week. I forgot her name, but she's beautiful. Yes, Miss Paula Matarazzo. Yes, her Sherry Som. You know, I mean, she was just in this episode for just like a brief moment. And now what I kind of do like is seeing Tariq in the classroom. He was first, but I don't know that character's name either. I don't know nobody's name, but I'm like, man, why are you giving this dude such a hard time? You know, he come to class on time, you know, he got his notes out or whatever, you know, he good to go. You like, nigga, you got to do it more than one day if you want to catch up. I'm like, will you shut the hell up? Shit, one day at a time. You can't live 7 days at once and one day at a time. I don't know. 2008, The Batman, The Dark Knight, it's interesting that dialogue came up. I want to know from you, because they was talking about, are we fundamentally good or bad, and the one gentleman, the black brother, was like, hey man, we are taught not to murder people. And that is true, but I'm in the middle. I like the references she used for The Dark Knight when they was having this dialogue in class, like Locke versus, I forgot the other, like I said, I don't know, the material that they was reading. She brought up the Dark Knight movie, and then the other girl was like, that was just a movie. But I'm on the fence because I do feel like us as human beings are fundamentally good for the most part. But at the same time, and just in what I've experienced, I do feel like, everybody's out there on their own. It's just, it's right. Because the gentleman said that we are taught not to murder. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't remember. From what I remember when a child, that just felt wrong. I don't think somebody sat down with me and just like, don't murder people. I don't know. I mean, I'm on the fence. What do you guys think? I want to know from you. Please let me know down in the comment section below. If you think that everybody's out to get everybody, the only reason that we are sane and, and able to, coexist somewhat in society is because we have all these rules and laws and regulations, or, how do you feel about that? It was a brief scene, but it does warrant an interesting dialogue that I think everybody can relate to in some form or fashion. Now, the character 2-Bit Michael J. Ferguson, I really do like him as an actor now. I mean, he was cool in the first show, but I don't know. It's just something about him, the energy that he's putting on screen. I don't know, like a light bulb, or, I kind of start smiling or kind of sit up in my seat when I watch him on screen. I just like how he commands authority and he just doesn't take crap out for nobody. However, I did not really like the way that McClane was talking to him, like, listen to me, nigga, trust me, nigga. I'm just like, I don't like, black people use the N-word, but it was just something with his tone that I just really wasn't feeling. I just didn't really care for that. That really did kind of get under my skin. But, he's in prison right now. He memorized the 4th or the 5th Amendment. I like that he's reading, because in the first show, he did just seem like a complete dummy, like a moron idiot. He had street smarts, but he just still seemed retarded. But, it just seems like he's turning over a new leaf and just kind of like realizing, okay, I can't be thinking the same that I used to, because that got me end up in jail. I got to, elevate my mindset here a little bit. And it seems like we're getting that. Not only in the first half of this season, but the second half with this episode 6 right here. So that's cool that, we're having him back right here. Now, Monet, Mary J. Blige, I'm always ragging on her acting. And again, she did not do a good job in the acting department, in my opinion, in this episode, except for one scene towards the end where I really did feel the passion from her. I'm like, okay, this is some genuine acting right here, Mary J. Okay, can we see more of this? But that's later on in the episode. But what was funny to me is she's like, hey, Drew and Diana, Diana is her name. Or, excuse me, no, Diana is her name, but for D, they call her short. Y'all know that. But, they're in the drug lab or downstairs in the basement or whatever, and she's telling them to break it down and, label this and tally it up and all this right here. But what was just so stupid to me was she was like, phones. And she takes the phones and then just lays them right there on the shelf. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, they're not 2 years old. They, they're grown adults. They can walk over there and pick it up and look at it. If you didn't want them to use the phones, why didn't you just take the phones with you? That just didn't make any sense. And Drew, my dude, I don't know what's going on with this wardrobe, with this leopard cheetah print, man, but take that shit off, bro. I mean, I know you gay and all, that's fine. Live your life in the show, that's what I'm saying. But this outfit that you're wearing, bro, you looking super soft, man. I'm just saying, you're out the closet. It's Everett. Well, no, you're not out the closet all the way. You know what I'm saying? But, you're giving it away. If you don't want to be out the closet, you're giving it away with this leopard cheetah print. I don't think I've ever... That's just, I don't think I've ever in my life seen a man wear a leopard, cheetah, or animal print of any kind. This is a first. I mean, do what you want to do if you in the leopard cheetah prints, but I was just like, bro, take that off right there. You look soft. You look weak, but hey, it is, if you want to look soft and you want to look weak, that's fine. You can do that, but just my opinion or whatever. But Everett is hitting him up, man. Like Deanna said, like, oh, he thirsty, and Drew, he want to see me. I'm like, bro, like, it's just funny to me. Like, oh, that's just silly puppy love. But, he goes over there. He doesn't listen to Monet, his mom, and, him and Everett get it on. And, hey, if they happy, they happy. But, they get it on. And later on, we're interrupted by, Diana and, because she's charging them up. And, but we'll get to that. But another scene right here that was just like really, really funny to me was, and it was somewhat it was funny and disrespectful, just some of the things that happened in the scene, was when they go back to the house. And Monet is checking Diana and Drew and just like, hey, y'all not listening to me. We need to be doing it this way. We need to be doing it that way. And Monet is just like, hey, you're the one sleeping in bed with people that you're not supposed to be. Well, Kanye's back is turned, right? And so he doesn't know that she was actually referencing Drew and not Diana, and Kane assumed that. So I think it's really messed up that, and I think I went out of order with the scenes here, but I think it's really messed up that Drew didn't speak up, and he let Kane and Monet, well, that was later on in the episode, but in this particular scene, let Kane think that she was sleeping with Tariq when she hasn't yet, or maybe she won't. I think she does. I mean, I think they both want. I think they're both feeling each other, and I do think that Tariq likes her, because later on she was like, he doesn't like me like that, and we're gonna talk about that line. And because that kind of annoyed me, but I thought that was really messed up from Drew, man. That's not cool, man. I mean, I understand, like, because it's just your mom. I think now we found out at the end of or the first half of the season that Monet suspects that he's gay. But I cannot remember if she actually called him out on it or asked him. I know she was kind of speaking in cold language in between the lines, like, hey, baby, when she saw the drawing, you can always come home to me and let me know how you are and things of how you feel, etc. But I don't know if he actually came out and was like, okay, mom, I'm gay. Well, or did she just figure it out? But I think I just answered my question because she just made that reference right there. But the point I was trying to make is, I understand that Drew may not want to come out to the world. I mean, I can understand that with, gay people, lesbian people, trans, bi, everybody in the LGBTQ. But you don't want to come out to your family? I mean, because, Monet, she didn't scold you for it. Deanna didn't scold you for it. So, why would Kane? You know what I'm saying? I mean, go ahead and just, and if you're watching this and you're gay, you may be saying, Brandon, shut the hell up. You don't know. You don't live a lifestyle. It's easier said than done. That may be true, but I'm just going based off the sequence of events that happened in the episode. There's two people in your family that know the deal. They did not flip out on you. And so go ahead and just live your truth, at least with your family, man. So, it's just less strife and y'all can get along and run this business, this drug game, move this weight without getting caught. And, it's just not as much chaos, because you're going to deal with chaos. Of course, I mean, that's just the theme line of the show. That's one of the lessons that I like about the show, is that it teaches you if you live this lifestyle, you're going to end up dead or in jail. And this is like very frustrating when Tariq goes up to Lauren's dorm room and he brings a sweater, and I would just, I guess they're comfortable. She didn't invite him in. He just walked in, but she's feeling him. He's feeling her. But, they didn't get to kiss again. I'm just like, God dog it, because Malcolm whack ass came and interrupted. And I'm just thinking like, okay, man, I wouldn't even answer the door, but Tariq got nervous. But the thing is Malcolm the boyfriend? He looks different. He looks like a completely different character if it's the same guy. Because I was asking myself, I was like, okay, wait, is this the same boyfriend that was out of town that popped up at Lauren's parents' house during the first half of the season, a couple of months ago? It just looks completely different. They need to go ahead and end that relationship. They're not getting along. Lauren has grown out of you, bro. It's funny. And Lauren wants one of those. Well, no, I don't want to say that. I hear jokes on social media talking about some of the problems that ladies have is they want a romantic, godly thug nigga or whatever, and Malcolm is not that. And so I mean, I know that's just messing around, but. Whatever. I just think that they should end that. I'm tired of, if that's the same guy. I mean, he was super whack last time, but he seemed much more cool this time, but we'll have to see. Now, Riley is another character that's getting on my damn nerve. I just want her to go away with her pink hair. It's just funny because Sax gets no respect whatsoever. She's up here ripping him up because he got sex dolls, in his closet. He acts like, her name is Rebecca. I'm like, man, y'all bitches getting it in. Nah, but he's like, your name is Rebecca. And I'm just like, bruh, I would have, I wouldn't have said that. I just been like, look, I forgot to throw it away after so-and-so gave it to me as a gag gift or whatever, But now here is where we start really getting stupid with the characters right here. You know what I'm saying? We already had Trace during the first half of the season go in and steal Brayden and Tariq's drugs or whatever. Now it has come and bit him back in the ass or whatever. So Kane, dumbass, God, you are the stupidest character in this freaking episode. First of all, you shouldn't even been pulling up on Tariq when you was doing that a few episodes ago on campus, but you gonna walk all the way into campus and walk into the dorm? Pulling out guns and shit? Like, what is wrong with you? You are a dummy. That's just not smart or whatever. But then Brayden, dumbass, has to come in there and be stupid too. Like, hey, dude, like at first he was handling the conversation. He was like, first of all, let me back up a little bit. First of all, I like the way that Brayden is checking his brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, where's my stuff? I need it right now. You're bullshitting, yada, yada. Because a long time ago, I didn't like Brayden, but he was always excited. And at the beginning of this show, like, yeah, we're gonna get ass and pussy and drugs. It was just like annoying. I was like, calm down. But then again, I had to check myself. I was like, okay, B, when you was 18, 19 years old, you was kind of girl crazy too. I didn't go around like, yeah, like that, but whatever. But I was liking Brayden's character. He got into the squab fight. He was squabbing the squab fight. He was squabbing at the party a couple of episodes ago. When the dude charged him up at the party. And so I'm like, okay, I'm really feeling Brayden. He's smart. Seems like he's going to have a good partnership with Tariq, but he got too big for his britches. He's trying to make friends and get in a little bit too deep too early. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, dude. At first he was like, yeah, just calm down. Let's put the guns away. Nobody has to get hurt, but you're Kane, right? I'm like, no, you a freaking idiot. Why would you do that? You just had to play dumb like you didn't know shit. Bro, I'm sorry. I do not know where Tariq is. Please come back, later on, or I'll let you know what's your name. What's your number? I would have went super white boy, like, oh my God, I don't know. I mean, I was just gonna have my potato salad with raisins and what's your name? What's your number? I'll have him call you. But no, he wanna drop names like we're partners, bro. We're working together. We're on the same side. Like, what kind of introduction is that? That is dumb. Like they just said F the writing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, it was just incredibly stupid, and Trace is already done for stealing the drugs anyway. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. No, I do know that shit was stupid. Okay, it was stupid. It was illogical. It did not make any sense, and that's what they dumbasses get. And I like how what's his name? Brayden was walking out the room and he threw the phone against the chessboard to let Tariq know that it was an emergency. But I was thinking that was gonna come back and just be some like badass, not reveal, but just like set a sequence of events in motion, to some interesting plot point. But all it did was let Tariq know that oh shit, I'm in trouble, and he didn't do anything. He just sat there. He was like, oh, we got this bat signal, but it didn't help anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if he didn't knock out the chessboard, the same stuff would have happened or whatever. So I was just kind of a little disappointed there. But no big deal. The thing about another thing that Tariq like pissed me off when I'm talking about stupid decisions is because when he called Riley back in the room, he was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm trying to write a note. He's like, why didn't you call? When they found out, he was like, okay, I don't know where he is. You got to go. She's like, no, I'm just going to stay here. He's like, no, leave. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like, are you effing serious? Get out of my room. That wouldn't have happened. She would not have been in my room. Like, I understand, like, this is not your room. And the person that you're here for is not here. You have no authority here whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? And that was just like retarded. And then when they're playing chess later on, he's nervous, but he keeps making these little mistakes. And it's really, really frustrating me. It's just like, oh, this is goofy. Riley went over there and took his phone or whatever when Diana knocked on the door. But I know I kind of just fast forward a whole bunch of the episode. But I mean, these stupid decisions are just kind of like stacking up for me at this point. Another thing is like, look, guys, the way that Brayden was on the corner, selling that weight like that, his introduction to the whole thing was just the silliest thing in the world. There is no way in the world where I'm just going to be chilling on a stoop with my peoples and a random person, white at that, comes like, hey guys, how you doing? It's cold out here. I mean, I'm like, bro, get the F away from me, bro. I don't want to hear nothing you got talking about. You already seem suspect. Oh, I'm just chilling and I don't got a phone, but I got this blunt right here. First of all, like, I'm just saying that somebody that's carrying around an already rolled blunt, I mean, are they really going to just carry it like that? Completely naked, not wrapped up in some type of tube or the casing that it came in. I mean, you're going to wrinkle up the blunt. Like, that just doesn't make sense. And then too, like, people, smart people, they're not just going to smoke with some stranger. You don't know what they got in there. They could have some weed and some PCP, angel dust, stuff that I'm not familiar with, but just like, that's just retarded. I'm just saying, like, I'm not no perfect angel, but I have never ever done any, I have never done any type of activity with a stranger. Like, it's not, never, I would never do that. That's just common sense, and they're outside and it's just like, okay, and then he opens up a bag. Like, what is this, Christmas? What is he, Santa Claus's son or something like that? Hey, I got a bag of good drugs. Let's sell the drugs. Like, what? It's just, that was retarded. Like, I mean, I'm just like, this is just, so I don't know. If you move weight, if you sell drugs, please comment below and let me know how. I'm teasing, but I'm just saying, man, like, that was retarded. I just don't get it. It's just not gonna go down like that, in my opinion. I mean, just the whole thing was dumb. But I am kind of glad that Trace got his ass whooped a little bit. But again, Kane is dumb, because I'm just like, bro, you're walking on eggshells. I mean, you're walking on a thin line right here, man. Like, what if he would have got shot or whatever, or just died, or just, I mean, like, did you even make any money? I think they stole his bag. That was just pointless. I mean, that was just stupid. Everybody scolded him for that. Ramirez, the cop, did it. Monet did it, which of course we're gonna get to. But I'm just like, bro, you're going on campus, you're flashing guns, you're dropping, you're riding around with these two white boys in your car that are like known by everybody. You got two bags of drugs in the car. You're dropping them off at random. I mean, it's just. You are stupid as hell, man. You are like, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt other than you just being the muscle, but you are a dumb fool, man. Dodo bird. But hey, whatever. That's how they wanted to write his character. It does not make sense to me. Something else that does not make sense to me is this course correct tutoring program, man. Nobody is going to be walking around with leaflet paper or whatever. Like, it's electronic. Nobody, I mean, that's just dumb. Like, just email the freaking thing. It's just a stupid business plan. I mean, you have to pay the people that's going to deliver it, cut the cost by emailing a document to them. Okay, God, I don't understand. Like, I understand they have to physically do it to physically give them the drugs. You can't send drugs to the internet, duh. But I'm just saying, no, in 2020, nobody is going to. I just don't get it. I don't get it. This course correct thing. It just doesn't make sense, because people can be emailing study guides to each other on PDF documents, Word documents, whatever. I don't know, but that just doesn't make sense to me. Now, Monet is funny because she yells a lot at her children. She comes downstairs where Drew and Diana are supposed to be breaking everything down, like, oh hell no, and I was talking to my friend about that, and I was laughing pretty hard. But yeah, she's charging up everybody because, she's just not getting her way. And she sends Diana to go over to pick up Drew from Everett's dorm or his apartment or his house or whatever. And they're in there, playing video games like it was Jet Moto or something like that, but they're trying to work everything out. And, he's like, hey, I'm going to go take a shower, and they go have their shower together. But then this is where Diana comes, and she goes, she's like, I have a stop to make. It's none of your business where I'm going. And she knocks on Tariq's door. Now, earlier I said that she said something that really annoyed me because, just backing up a little bit, when she was talking to her mother, Diana was talking to Monet, Mary J. Blige. Monet was like, did you sleep with him? Did you fuck him or whatever? She's like, no, I didn't sleep with him, and like, I want to, but he doesn't like me like that. I'm just teasing. But, I don't know why she's assuming that, he doesn't like her like that. She's, in her feelings right now. It's funny, guys do that, we'll get ripped to shreds, but, sometimes women, they jump to conclusions, just sometimes the one little thing that, oh, he hates me, he doesn't like me or whatever. But I really did not like when she was knocking on Tariq's door and she tried to check. She trying to go in his room. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm sorry. I'm occupied right now. Who's in there? Lauren? Like, he doesn't owe you anything. Okay. You need to chill out, pump your brakes, dial it back a little bit. She's like, you know what? I thought you was different. Looking like, what did he like? You more pursued him. You know what I'm saying? Well, is that the case? No, because he was going to ask, I think, Kane if he can date or whatever, but that didn't work out. But still, she was just out of place, in my opinion, on the scene right here. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. But, she's getting jealous of Lauren. I didn't really appreciate that. She's like, you hurt. It's like, she said something about you hurting me or something like that. And I'm just like, man, woman, please stop it. You're tripping. You're getting on my nerve. You're not making any sense. And this is where, Kane gets pulled over because he has Trace and Braden in the back seat, and then Ramirez pulls them over. I like the way that Ramirez handled the situation. I know that he just like smashing on Monet, but he has this connect to it, and he's getting paid on the side, so he's not trying to mess up his business, but he lets him go. He tells Braden and Trace, hey man, let's just pretend like this didn't happen. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like the way that Braden is checking his older brother, like, hey man, just shut the F up, man. Nothing happened. And then Ramirez goes and proceeds to text Monet like, hey, we need to talk. And she lets him know. And she didn't like it or whatever, because she was like, yeah, man, your boy is tripping, man, because if something happens, the whole NYPD, half the NYPD is going to be on this case and some make national story. Like, your boy is not thinking this through. He's being a moron or whatever. And she was like, you need to give him in line, if, you can. And she's like, what do you mean? She's like, I know he's your son, but, you're not a man. And that may make some women mad and like all this misogynistic stuff, but that's just true. I mean, like, there's just something about a father's presence that a woman can't, she can't stand in those shoes. I'm not saying that women can't do a good job and all this, but I mean, just me, I'm just saying, like, my father, when I was young, coming up in high school, I had a curfew. If I was late, trying to sneak, it wasn't even like that with me. But if I was just a few minutes late and my dad was right there, just kind of like instill some fear in me. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm taller than him now, it's just like, I understood there or whatever. And so, and it was true, because we find out in the next few scenes after this court thing that was funny, because Too Big, he got out. But not Drew, but Kane is tripping. And when I was talking about earlier how Monet's acting was bad the whole episode, but except for one scene, I'm talking about this scene right here where it was, I forgot his name that quick, Kane versus Monet or whatever, and their dialogue. That was actually good acting. I was like, okay, you're doing your thing, Mary J. Blige. You're doing your thing, Monet. I wish we can see acting like this throughout the whole show, throughout the whole series, because this scene right here is good. And they're going back and forth, and Kane is just running at the mouth, just raising his voice like, bro, that's your mama, man. Like, look, you just not the boss. You the muscle. You don't think shit through. And, Diana tries to go down there and calm him down. He like, get off me. And then he bucks and elbows Monet and knocks on the ground. And I'm just like, oh, shit. You finna get your balls chopped off by your own mama. And that didn't happen. You got him, you got your ass whipped by your daddy, when he go to jail. And, yeah, I mean, as soon as he was like, all right, they gave a hug, I was like, well, he not just finna walk out scot-free. I mean, you can't be hitting on, I mean, even if it was an accident, you just can't be doing that to anybody, especially drug lords, people in this type of business. But I don't think he's going to make that mistake again. I'm very interested in seeing how Monet and Kane's relationship is going to flesh out after this episode. If they're going to make up, or is the writing department just going to pretend like nothing happened and they're getting along great, during the next episode or the rest of the series. I am really eager to kind of, find that out. But we also, Braden comes back. He talks to Tariq, tells him that he really feels good, selling those drugs, and, he felt like Superman. And I like that Tariq is like, bro, you're not doing that anymore. That's just not how we're going to get down. But I do want to know, why do y'all think that Diana was so hell-bent on telling Monet about the course correct class and like the operation, because Drew didn't want to reveal the information. Tariq didn't want to do it either. And then when Monet found out, she was like, why are you telling me this because you want to shut Tariq down? And why would you want me to do that? Is it because she's butthurt because she feels or assumes that Tariq is not feeling her? But truth be told, women out there, all my ladies out there, sometimes it is, this is just the truth. It doesn't happen all the time. But sometimes if you shoot your shot at a guy and it is bad timing, that is legitimate. That is not. Sometimes a guy can really be interested in you, but he may not be at the best point in his life. He may not have a car. He might not have a house. He may not have both. He may be broke. He may be messed up mentally, or just have a lot of things going on. So I know that can seem like a cop out. Like, okay, yeah, you don't need to go around like, oh, it's a bad time. I got it. No, hear him, but don't freak out about it or whatever. But do y'all think that she's butthurt? And I'm just speculating here. Y'all could be like, B, I don't see how you're relating it to. This is how my mind is processing that. And then we got that episode. The end of the episode where Sax is just messing up again, and Odd is pissed and takes his jacket off and runs out the room and. Not Tariq, but Sax is getting a text from Davis McClain so he can rub it in, but this dumbass just let 2-Bit out and got nothing for it or whatever. And the great thing about it is 2-Bit didn't have to snitch. And so it's very interesting because this brother's name is Michael J. Ferguson, and he's using his real name. That's his real name, and he's using it in the show. His street name in the show is 2-Bit. And also in the show, his real name is Michael J. Ferguson, but that's his real name. And I did not know this until like right before I hit record, but Power is like his first acting credit ever. And he's playing himself. So I don't know if he moved weight in real life, and I don't know, but he's doing a great job. I'm looking at his IMDb right now, and let me show y'all this real quick. Yeah, it doesn't, this is it. So you got Michael J. Ferguson. It's nice to see him in the suit, smiling, lined up, because we're used to seeing him in orange. We're used to seeing him like this. But yeah, Power Book 2, Ghost and Power, and Self, Power Confidential. So that's just kind of interesting right there. But after, I'm closing my little notepad right here. So guys, I really did enjoy the episode. It was entertaining, real talk. I'm not gonna lie, it was entertaining. I did enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. But it was a lot of dumbass decisions in this episode, especially from Kane and from Braden. Braden, man, I don't know what you try. Hey, yeah, Kane, we work together. That was just incredibly stupid. Something else that I want to know from y'all is, as far as the marketing is concerned when it comes to Power on Starz, do y'all feel like Power Book 2 Ghost, the marketing has dropped significantly as far as like social media presence? Because it just let me know, it kind of just seems like I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and we were just kind of just saying like, or they were saying more than me, just how like the first Power show, how it was all over social media and like the Shade Room and these outlets are just like power, power, power. And it doesn't feel like that. And even though I was late to the Power show, I didn't start watching Power until like season 4 or 5, and I binged it all the way through. But even when I wasn't watching it, I would hear it everywhere, like Power's the thing. Power's the best show on TV. Maybe not the best show on TV, but it was up there in the rankings. But I don't feel that same energy. How do y'all feel about that? Am I tripping? Are you like, no, B, the energy is the same, or they did drop the marketing? Or was there some type of press release? Did Courtney come out, or 50 Cent like, hey, we're going to, just let me know how you feel about that, guys. But guys, that is just my opinion for the latest episode of Power Book 2 Ghost, episode 6. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Of course, answer all my questions, all of them. If you liked the video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Help me reach 30,000 subscribers. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.